I definitely did not plan to live in that haunted mansion of a house. The whole nightmare kicked off just 1 week before the new semester. We had just wrapped up a massive shopping spree, and were heading to grab some coffee. Our lovely main character, Yoon Ae, decided to treat her entire squad to her family's fancy cafe. The girls were absolutely buzzing with excitement. "I cannot believe I am finally visiting your family's place!" Basking in their admiration, Yoon Ae flashed a proud, wealthy daughter's smile. "Then, all your drinks are completely on the house today." Knowing her legendary generosity, the girls immediately dropped all politeness. "Oh my gosh, can I get a mega-sized Java chip frappuccino?" Yoon Ae waved her hand like a benevolent queen. "Order whatever your heart's desire!" The crowd immediately erupted into joyful cheers, brimming with pride. She practically skipped forward. "By the way, the second floor is getting a massive premium upgrade right now. We are expanding the whole business!" But the moment they arrived at the Grand Cafe, it was completely pitch black. Panic instantly struck her heart. "Wait a second, why are the shutters down? It is barely the middle of the afternoon." Trembling slightly, Yoon Ae frantically dialed her mother's number. As soon as the line connected, she burst out in a panic. "Mom, where in the world are you? I brought my friends to the cafe." Her mother's voice sounded absolutely exhausted. "Oh, my sweet daughter, perfect timing. Your father and I are currently sitting inside the local police precinct." Her stomach instantly dropped to her shoes. Her voice shook with pure terror. "The police station? Have you guys lost your minds? What on earth happened?" Taking a deep breath, her mother dropped the ultimate bombshell. It was all thanks to her beloved, totally useless uncle. That traitor completely scammed our family. Yoon Ae felt the world spinning around her. Her brain completely short-circuited in pure shock. "What kind of absolute nonsense is this?" Her mother sniffled through the phone. "That snake teamed up with the shady construction director and totally ran off with all our renovation funds. His fancy office is completely cleared out. With our terrible lease situation, we had to pack everything up. I barely managed to rent a dirt-cheap room, but it is a brutal 5-hour commute from your high school. But do not worry, that backstabbing uncle left his old place empty. It is right next to your campus, so you will have to crash there for a while." Yoon Ae choked on her own spit. "Wait, completely alone?" Her mother rushed her words. "I will ship your bags over immediately. Just survive in that traitor's house for the time being. Your father and I are going to hunt that scammer down to the ends of the earth. Please survive and eat well until we return." Listening to the dial tone, tears of pure despair streamed down her beautifully ruined face. "Are you kidding me?" Staring at the cursed property before her, Yoon Ae violently rubbed her eyes. "This has to be a hidden camera prank, right? This is not a human residence. It is an absolute garbage dump." Sure, the building was huge, but it looked like a literal zombie apocalypse shelter. She fell to her knees, wailing at the cruel heavens. How am I supposed to survive in this horror movie set? And that tragic comedy was exactly 1 week ago. Fast forward through my endless sobbing, and I was officially squatting in my fugitive uncle's lair. Yanking open the horribly empty fridge, she clutched her growling stomach. "What in the world am I going to eat?" Yoon Ae let out a soul-crushing sigh. "Everything in this haunted dump is completely broken. I am talking disastrous water pressure and a ceiling fan that sounds like a dying helicopter." Aggressively tying her perfectly white sneakers, she marched out the creaky front door. "I am heading out!" Despite the absolute poverty, her youthful resilience shone through. Our spunky heroine refused to be defeated. The very next morning, she dragged herself to the subway station. A robotic voice echoed through the platform. "The morning express train is now arriving. Please step safely behind the yellow safety line." Trying to shake off her miserable fate, she did some dramatic morning stretches. Ugh, complaining will not fix my ruined life. I just have to smile and survive this tragedy. At the very least, the massive debt was not quite enough to sell our organs over. So I guess the heavens showed some mercy. Another heavy sigh escaped her lips. It absolutely sucks that I lost all my commuting buddies. Just one cute friend would make this bearable. Now I am stuck in this random neighborhood, until my parents brutally capture that uncle of mine. Whatever, I will embrace the lone wolf lifestyle. But mid-stretch, heavy footsteps echoed rapidly. Sprinting frantically down the quiet platform, she casually glanced over her shoulder, and then time completely stopped. A literal god of visual perfection was sprinting past her, breathless, absolutely glowing, racing to catch the closing doors. Her pupils dilated into massive cartoon hearts, paralyzed by his breathtaking beauty. She was completely statuesque. All rational thought immediately abandoned her brain. Oh, my gosh! The majestic view totally made her forget her own commute. The sudden robotic warning, "The doors are now closing," finally snapped her awake. "Wait for me!" she shrieked, launching herself forward. Her heart was doing chaotic backflips inside her chest. Who in the world was that walking masterpiece? Hold on, was that a blazer from my high school? By a pure stroke of destiny, she squeezed into the crowded car, landing right beside him. Target absolutely acquired. Peeking through her lashes, she shamelessly admired his side profile. Holy smokes, his jawline could literally cut glass. Clenching her fists, she dramatically squeezed her eyes shut. The universe is speaking to me! This exact moment is going to painfully ruin my life in the best way possible. Like the ancient scholars always warned, the deadly disease of loving pretty boys has absolutely no cure except rebirth. Her hyperactive imagination instantly flashed forward 60 years, lying on her deathbed, whispering to her poor caretaker. 60 years ago, on a fateful morning commute, and the exhausted nurse would just dramatically roll her eyes. Oh, please, Grandma, are we really talking about that hot subway boy again? Seriously? That makes 2,838 times repeating this exact tale. The elderly lady let out an exhausted sigh. The absolute final gorgeous man to exist. She mentally hyped herself up. Just shoot your shot. Never live with tragic future regrets, sadly crying out, "If only I possessed courage to speak." As the legendary romantic rule claims, capturing a male heart requires conquering his hungry stomach. She gently tapped the gorgeous stranger beside her. As his gaze shifted, she offered a sweet snack, flashing a winning smile. "Do you enjoy gummy treats?" Her mind cheered. To break the awkward ice, offering food is the ultimate strategy. Following her smooth opening line, an awkward silence painfully stretched between them. Breaking the heavy tension, he finally opened his mouth to question, "Who are you?" Those blunt words struck Yoon Ae like a devastating lightning bolt. Her brain short-circuited as she mentally screamed, "Oh my goodness! He never realized my existence. Was I hyping myself over nothing?" Trembling with pure embarrassment, Yoon Ae helplessly stuttered, "My deepest apologies. I was overjoyed spotting a fellow classmate." He extended his hand toward her trembling sweet offering, softly uttering, "Ah," accepting the treat. A breathtaking soft smirk graced his features. "Thank you. I will savor this. I actually heavily adore these specific gummies." In that heart-stopping second, her soul exploded with euphoric joy, fully convinced she encountered her destined soulmate. How can a human possess such divine visuals alongside an angelic personality? He is utterly flawless. I have zero clue who birthed him, but they raised an absolute masterpiece. Throughout their morning commute, an endless conversation flowed. Well, honestly, it was entirely just Young of cheerfully blabbering away. "You attend high school too, correct?" "I strongly feel we belong to the exact same age group," he responded with cool detachment. "Is that a fact?" Unfazed, her bubbly enthusiasm overflowed. "Yes, that is totally fantastic. I currently lack companions for my commute." "You catch the transit from that platform daily, right?" he mumbled, a surprisingly bashful "yes," catching that affirmative response. Yoon Ae practically vibrated with immense joy. "That means our morning paths will cross super frequently." "Oh wait, do you already possess a commute squad?" he casually shrugged. "I do not." Yoon Ae glowed with joy. "Then, would you care to travel together?" "Walking to campus solo is dreadfully dull." A heavy silence stretched before he finally yielded. "Sure," analyzing his painfully brief responses. Yoon Ae deeply analyzed it. His responses are painfully brief. Yet he definitely is not throwing any rejection flags. Could this iceberg secretly be bashful? Let us investigate further. Her face suddenly lit up brightly. Wait, what is your actual name? Gesturing proudly toward her chest, she confidently declared, My title is Yoon Ae. Who are you? His knuckles whitened, gripping the handrail. Rubbing his neck with bashful hesitation, I am Kim Yohan. That title made Yoon Ae blink in shock. Wait, Kim Yohan? Catching her dumbfounded expression, he defensively questioned, Is there an issue? Her mind spun. Why does he possess such a famously religious name? Carrying a holy title must be burdensome, Yoon Ae quickly explained. Oh, it is simply because your name connects to faith. Flashing an innocent grin, she probed, Does your family practice Catholicism? The second that religion dropped, his beautiful features hardened into pure icy hostility. Why question my background? Confronted by his freezing aura, Yoon Ae flinched. Huh? Her mental alarms chimed. What just happened? Did I step on a conversational landmine? The atmosphere around Yohan violently plummeted into sub-zero temperatures. He is fiercely triggered. But my intentions were purely innocent. There is clearly some dramatic backstory here. I urgently need a conversational emergency exit. She violently pivoted the topic. By pure fortunate timing, an advertisement hung inside the carriage. Yoon Ae excitedly pointed. Wow, look at that! He stared blankly, questioning. What about it? She proudly declared. That is our official classroom motto. She cheered. Though your beginning was small, your future end shall massively prosper. Whenever my eyes lock onto those words, pure motivation erupts. Is that not the perfect encouragement for stressed students like us? Absorbing this, Yohan let silence linger before coldly asking, Do you know its true origin? She shrugged with pure oblivious confidence. Zero clue. He darkly replied. The Book of Job, chapter 8, verse 7. Those words were used by companions to brutally ridicule Job. That revelation shattered her delusion, leaving her totally paralyzed. She forced an awkward, is that a fact? Arriving at campus, her face twisted in deep regret. She harshly cursed herself. I look like an absolute clown. Spotting her defeated dark aura, her peers swarmed her desk with burning curiosity. Your energy crashed since the opening ceremony. Is your situation truly that tragic? Can you survive inside your uncle's residence? Flailing her arms, she brightly countered. My mood is unrelated. The new residence is actually majestic. Yoon Ae instantly launched into a passionate review for her friends. The bedroom and floor count is mind-blowing. An entire squad could live there. It is far too massive for a solo occupant, so splitting space between two souls makes logical sense. Her eyes sparkled as she aggressively recruited. Come, crash at my place! Absorbing her invitation, the squad burst into cheers. That sounds legendary. We will totally visit next time. Then, Yoon Ae dropped a detail that instantly froze their blood. That, ignoring the foul brown sludge vomiting from the pipes, plus the terrifying demonic scratching echoing from the attic. Digesting that nightmare fuel, Ji-hyung scrunched her face in disgust. Your shady uncle crossed the line. How could he brutally con his own bloodline? Standing right beside her, Song-ah nodded in total agreement. Exactly! With a devastatingly tragic sigh, Yoon Ae cupped her cheeks and whined. Sadly, my family wasn't the only one caught in this mess. Apparently, they totally drained the construction funds while rushing 10 different buildings. Surprisingly, my poor family took the lightest hit. Talk about absolute audacity! Who even knows how many innocent souls got scammed? Melting into her desk like a sad puddle, she begged, Keep this totally hush-hush, all right? This isn't exactly a glamorous family legacy. Both friends instantly nodded with reassuring smiles. Obviously, don't even worry! Honestly, even if a rumor leaks, that massive Kim Yohan scandal would instantly swallow your tiny drama whole. The second that forbidden name dropped, Yoon Ae shot straight up like a meerkat. Wait, Kim Yohan? What happened there? Gesturing dramatically toward a towering structure looming past the campus grounds, her bestie whispered, Notice that giant place? It is currently locked down tighter than a vault. That legendary 1,000-year Second Coming Church, sometimes officially branded as the ultra-mysterious Millennial Preparation Committee. They supposedly built that colossal shrine to resurrect some legendary 1,000-year-old empire mentioned straight out of apocalyptic scriptures. It is literally the juiciest gossip in our entire district right now. Hearing this spicy tea, her eyes practically sparkled. Gasp! I totally watched that drama unfold. It went mega viral. Their weird channel actually hit over 100,000 subscribers. Her friend smirked. Exactly. That gorgeous guy is literally the Supreme Leader's heir. Seriously, what cosmic joke dropped him right into our very own homeroom today? That massive bombshell hit her like an absolute truck. Wait, back up. Did you just say our homeroom? Her friend giggled mischievously. Oh, you sweet summer child. Commuting from outside the district means you haven't even witnessed this legendary prince's insanely gorgeous face yet, huh? A sudden, inexplicable chill ran violently down her spine. Wait a minute. Why is my danger radar screaming? This feels like absolute doom. Why are my arms covered in terrifying goosebumps for zero logical reason? Bam! The heavy door slid open, revealing an outrageously breathtaking student stepping inside. The three girls instantly snapped their heads toward the glorious sight. Speak of the incredibly handsome devil! He casually glided toward the vacant seat right behind her, completely terrifying her. The entire room immediately erupted into nervous, buzzing whispers. Are you kidding me? We actually have to breathe the same air as a literal cultist? Why did destiny curse our homeroom? I refuse to get tangled up in his dark magic. This is beyond frustrating. Frantically grabbing her shoulders, Jihei hissed. That is him! The totally infamous prince of that crazy church! Her brain rattling wildly from the aggressive shaking, she groaned, Yeah, I figured. Her buddy blinked in pure shock. Wait, really? How did you guess? That fateful collision of their worlds practically screamed incoming disaster. By tomorrow, a chaotic, torrential downpour had already begun. She fiercely scrubbed her uncle's absolute disaster of an apartment. Phew, perfect. This finally resembles a human dwelling. I just need to survive peacefully here for 12 more months, right? While proudly admiring her masterpiece of cleanliness, a sudden chime shattered the silence. I invited absolutely zero guests. Who on earth? The mysterious stranger aggressively spammed the buzzer, forcing her to yell, Coming! Hold your horses! Trotting over with a completely upbeat bounce, she sang out, Who is there? Then, she aggressively yanked the door backward. Smack! Metal violently met flesh. Total panic struck her as she hysterically shrieked. Oh my gosh! Are you breathing? How do I fix this? I am horribly sorry. I possess zero spatial awareness. Just last week, I accidentally shattered our poor fried chicken delivery boy's innocent nose too. I totally repeated my tragic blunder. Glancing up, her heart practically leaped in shock. Oh my gosh, you are Kim Yohan. Startled beyond belief, she scrambled backward like a frightened kitten. An urgent reminder flashed. Her reckless uncle definitely swindled way more than just her innocent relatives. Beneath a devastatingly romantic midnight downpour, the gorgeous cult prince mysteriously camped right on her welcome mat. Swinging the lock open, her mind short-circuited completely at the glorious sight. What on earth are you doing outside? Her brain practically melted trying to comprehend why this breathtaking guy braved a literal typhoon just to visit her shabby porch. To decode why this breathtaking boy magically materialized at her humble doorstep, we simply must rewind the clock 10 hours. The gorgeous morning originally glowed with a refreshing breeze and sweetly harmonizing little singing birds. Our clueless heroine was totally engrossed in a wild documentary concerning that infamous millennial cult, featuring the highly charismatic speaker Kim Eun-hyung preaching, "We must fully surrender to our divine savior's majestic embrace, unlocking miraculous spiritual power and unyielding devotion that mere mortals could absolutely never achieve alone." Trying to decode this crazy lore in her head, she basically concluded that this church's supreme deity, their so-called new lord, who was literally his father, acted like some invincible god destined to violently obliterate any dark demons invading our reality, reigning over human civilization for an entire millennium. Honestly, From her highly logical perspective, even though this handsome heir actively dodged the camera, possessing the sacred bloodline of their messiah automatically crowned him as the official, ultra-powerful young master of this insanely massive, 1,000-year religious empire. Her adorable expression twisted in pure, hilarious skepticism while internally analyzing that gorgeous, mysterious transfer student. Strolling while completely glued to her screen, her eyes practically bulged out. My mind is literally blown. Gosh, that perfectly angelic face hides some wildly dark secrets. Discovering these spicy details about him sent absolute, spine-tingling shivers down her entire body. Who could picture that gorgeous face in a cult? Earlier on the train, Kim Yohan ruthlessly froze Lim Chunga with his absolutely icy reply. "Why are you so incredibly curious?" His sharp retort made her wonder if he thought she was interrogating him. She strolled, endlessly replaying his chilly words. Fanatic or not, investigating him was never my true goal. But I suppose that minor detail is totally irrelevant now. Mid-step, Lim Chunga abruptly halted and firmly glued her eyes forward. Right there stood Kim Yohan, the wildly mysterious boy occupying every single corner of her racing mind today. A confused murmur escaped her. Inside the homeroom, all students stared intensely at the massive luggage parked beside his desk. What is up with that weird bag? Soon, the room buzzed with extremely juicy gossip. He does not live in dorms, right? Wow, did our golden boy literally run away? Naturally, the dramatic speculation wildly multiplied. Would his strict folks really allow that? Where is he even crashing tonight? Totally ignoring the dramatic chatter, the handsome boy sat quietly with perfect posture. Meanwhile, Lim Chunga stared in absolute disbelief. Did Kim Yohan truly abandon his own family? Once the bell rang, spicy Kim Yohan rumors totally dominated her lunch table. Sitting with her usual lunch crew, she listened as the girls eagerly whispered, "What could possibly drive him to suddenly pack his bags and vanish?" Leaning over her lunch tray, the girl across the table boldly declared, "Well, to crack this spicy mystery, I must put myself in a desperate runaway's shoes." Her bestie teased, "You never dreamed of escaping your house?" They kept energetically debating while eating. Their wild guesses clashed. Theory 1, toxic family drama. But wait, rumors claim his parents are ridiculously in love. Throughout this chaotic guesswork, Lim Chunga remained completely silent, simply chewing while her besties passionately argued. One girl insisted his incredibly ordinary family lacked the spice for a major feud. The other dreamt up crazy scenarios, forcing the top student into exile. Theory 2, crushing study stress. The first friend fired back, "No way! That guy ranks top 5 effortlessly." Okay. Third guess, tragic financial ruin. Wrong again. His wealthy father supposedly owns the entire shiny Millennium Adventist Church property. During the noisy lunch, Lim Chunga sat quietly listening. So, what was the real heartbreaking truth behind his escape? Beats me! After their wild guessing game, our heroine finally chimed in. Theory 4, Kim Yohan is absolutely not a crazed cultist. In her confident opinion, he left because he was the only sane soul in that madhouse. She fully expected her loyal squad to totally agree. Hilariously, they instantly shot her down! Oh my gosh, no way. If those rumors were totally fake, why would he silently tolerate the nasty gossip? Their brutally solid logic instantly made her realize they were actually completely right. Ha ha ha! Tapping her chin, the sharp-eyed friend deduced. Trust me, he only left home because he secured a guaranteed backup plan. Those words instantly sparked her intense curiosity. Wait, what are you implying? Instantly, the girls stared at the mysterious boy who was dreamily gazing out the bright sunlit window. Breaking it down like a detective, she whispered. It means a secret someone is harboring him. He is way too calculating to just storm out in a rage. He even neatly packed a massive rolling suitcase for goodness sake. That definitely proves he secured a comfortable hideout and is fully preparing for a deliciously long vacation away. Suddenly, an obnoxious voice loudly crashed their totally private gossip session. Bingo! That annoying intruder was the notorious class chatterbox, Kim Seungjun. Glaring daggers at him, Lim Chunga viciously snapped back. Keep those nasty chopsticks away! Ignoring her fiery wrath, the smirking boy replied. Well, earlier. While sneaking past the faculty room, guess what juicy drama I witnessed? Sungjun's embarrassed buddies quickly apologized to the girls. Sorry about him, his nosy radar is completely broken today. Annoyed, Lim Chunga fiercely demanded, What exactly did you spy on? She practically growled. Though denying her burning curiosity, she desperately needed to know Yohan's fate. Basking in the spotlight, Kim Seung-jun dramatically cleared his throat and spilled the juicy tea. I witnessed Kim Yohan casually discussing his entire runaway situation with the shocked teacher. Except the dude was ridiculously calm. He politely told the teacher, Sir, my folks are fully aware I moved out. They literally watched me roll my suitcase out the door. So, if you are stressing over my parents storming the school to complain, please save your energy. It absolutely will not ever happen. Our advisor sat there, intensely absorbing this utter madness. Then, the completely unfazed Ice Prince continued, Because my family is dealing with matters far more critical than their runaway son. Pausing for dramatic effect, Seung-jun smirked. Yep, those were his exact freezing words. Absorbing this tragic story, Lim Chunga felt deeply shocked by his twisted family dynamic. Leaning closer, Seung-jun playfully whispered, You guys know our lazy advisor, right? He never even bothered probing for details. He just sighed and ordered the kid right back to class. That was the finale! Everyone gasped in absolute shock. Wow, the lazy teacher seriously just let a runaway teenager walk off like that? The group passionately resumed their chaotic debate. Did our handsome rebel bravely walk out, or did his deeply sketchy parents totally abandon him? Both options are incredibly creepy. Honestly, that terrifying emotional detachment is exactly what you need to become a cult leader. Ignoring everyone's loud chatter, Lim Chunga remained completely paralyzed in stunning, heartbreaking silence. That dreary morning, heavy rain battered the windows, creating a terribly noisy classroom. It is pouring! Did you bring an umbrella? Let us definitely share. Since uncovering his truly tragic situation, she simply could not stop agonizing over him. I desperately wonder if poor Kim Yohan is genuinely all right. The torrential downpour was absolutely relentless. Classes had finally finished, and every single student rushed homeward through the storm. Glancing at Yohan as she walked past his desk, Yoon Ae stopped completely. How on earth is he maintaining that perfect composure? The guy literally has zero panic in him. Her gaze bounced between his face and that suspicious luggage sitting nearby. Was this handsome weirdo seriously just throwing in the towel and running away? Nah, there is zero chance that is his actual plan. What crazy scheme is he hiding? But then tragedy struck our heroine. Grabbing her trusty umbrella, Yoon Ae realized the darn thing was completely busted. She instantly whipped her head around. Good heavens! Why am I even stressing over Kim Yohan right now? I literally cannot fix his messy life. Yet his piercing gaze locked right onto her fleeing figure. Honestly, my own precious family just got totally scammed. Simply keeping myself alive is exhausting enough. So when she spotted his tall figure looming near her front door, her brain short-circuited. Why is Kim Yohan stalking my house? Then his smooth voice broke the silence. Hey, mind if I step inside real quick? Yoon Ae jolted back to reality and practically shrieked, Pardon? Total panic mode officially activated. Wait, you want to enter my private sanctuary? For what? Noticing her absolutely horrified expression, he softly replied, There is something important we must discuss. Despite her wildly flustered state, she completely froze the exact second she heard him coughing miserably. Defeated, she swung the door open. Just get inside already! She firmly crossed her arms, standing quite defensively in front of him. What is so incredibly urgent that you tracked me down in a hurricane? And seriously, how did you even find my home address? Your crazy uncle totally swindled the entire 1,000-year Second Coming Church. Hearing those unbelievable words, our female lead completely stopped breathing. Furthermore, the handsome guy dropped another bomb. Apparently, your own family got played too. Every single devoted member of the 1,000-year Second Coming Church is raging, and my scary father deployed hunters to catch that thief. As his deep voice echoed, the sheer terror inside Yoon Ae skyrocketed. Hold up! Pause. Just wait 1 second. She desperately thrust her hand out, frantically begging him to stop. Did my uncle seriously steal the massive building budget for the 1,000-year second coming church of your powerful family? He simply nodded, yep. As they spoke, a massive cold sweat completely drenched our poor girl. Wait, that insane skyscraper? He nonchalantly confirmed. Exactly. Our heroine literally felt like sobbing uncontrollably. How much was the total building cost? Meeting her gaze, he calmly replied, roughly 100 billion. That absolutely astronomical number instantly made her weak legs give out. She crashed down. The handsome guy quickly caught her trembling shoulders. However, her terrified soul had totally left her shivering body. Her pale lips chanted, 100 billion! 100 billion! Finding her panic hilarious, he smiled gently. But please relax. Our almighty 1,000-year second coming church will aggressively hunt down that rat and fully refund your precious family. Just accept my single condition, and your family can sit back and relax safely. Processing his highly suspicious offer, she blinked in confusion. What mysterious condition? Meeting her suspicious gaze, he simply dropped the bomb. Let me rent a bedroom. That absolutely absurd request instantly ignited her fiery temper, and she violently shoved his chest toward the exit. Are you completely out of your freaking mind? Amused by her feisty struggle to banish him, he smoothly warned, toss me out into the storm and say goodbye to catching your runaway uncle forever. His cocky attitude poured gasoline on her fury, making her scream loudly. We honestly do not need help from your 1,000-year second coming church. We will hunt him down ourselves. My family knows that slimy snake perfectly. He just stood firmly in the pouring rain, effortlessly blocking the door, staring deeply into her eyes. You clearly misunderstand the situation, Princess. There is absolutely zero reason to be this incredibly hostile. We are officially an allied team now. Catching that criminal uncle is our shared destiny. Completely ignoring his incredibly dramatic speech, she stubbornly snapped back, absolutely not! Deep down, she mentally cursed. This is precisely why I violently despise getting tangled up in crazy cult nonsense. Despite her blazing, fiery anger regarding his completely ridiculous cohabitation demand, our heroine took a deep breath to negotiate rationally. Okay, accepting your assistance is totally fine, but moving into my private home is crossing the line! This entire situation is totally overflowing with suspicious red flags. Unfazed, he calmly replied, that every action holds a hidden purpose, which destiny will quickly reveal. Whatever poetic nonsense escaped his lips, she totally ignored it. She threw her weight against the door while his massive strength kept it wedged open. Panting with intense frustration, she fiercely roared, I literally do not care. You are a massive headache. So get lost. Finally cracking his cool facade, he suddenly yelled, Yoon Ae! Hearing his voice scream her name, a furious blush attacked her cheeks, making her silly heart race wildly. Despite sharing a homeroom forever, this handsome boy had literally never spoken her actual name out loud before. While she stood completely paralyzed, he abruptly grabbed her wrist. Think logically. Startled by the sudden physical contact, she completely panicked. Hey, unhand me! Ignoring her, his eyes narrowed. This is an absolute mandate from the 1,000-year second coming church. This is not a suggestion. Her body tensed instantly as she challenged him. So is that a threat? Smirking softly, he answered her. Oh, you are much sharper than anticipated. Yoon Ae felt completely overwhelmed by Yohan's bold words, but her pounding heart truly raced because his striking face was dangerously close. She shrieked, Why are you invading my personal bubble? The heart-fluttering gap vanished instantly, leaving poor Yoon Ae completely flustered. As his magnetic presence loomed closer, she desperately slammed her palm against his lips. But despite gagging the handsome intruder, he fiercely muttered through her palm, Mumble, mumble! You will regret this! So hurry up and open the door. Yoon Ae completely lost her sanity and hopelessly surrendered to his outrageous demands. Seriously, how much closer will you get? I surrender, so please, step back to chat. The very second our flustered female lead finished her panicked plea, Yohan abruptly snapped back to attention, making her nearly topple over. His intimidating aura thoroughly terrified her. Stop having weird thoughts and just listen closely. Since it is extremely late and pouring rain, you can crash here for just one single night. The two shared an intense, awkward stare-down. Yoon Ae finally sighed. My terrible uncle totally scammed your family. If I coldly kicked you out tonight, my heavy conscience would absolutely eat me alive. However, she dramatically hesitated, then fiercely jammed her index finger toward his gorgeous face. But never think I will accept charity from that wacky 1,000-year second coming church. My family will magically forge our own destiny, so stop tying our fates together, got it? Processing her fiery defensive speech, he submissively nodded. Catching his surprisingly tame puppy reaction, she gestured upstairs defensively. Take the empty guest room on floor 2. Following that incredibly draining emotional roller coaster, our flustered heroine swiftly spun around and retreated inside the house. Mid-stride, a deep voice suddenly echoed out. Lim Yoon-ae! She glanced back, questioning. What now? The breathtakingly gorgeous Kim Yohan smoothly turned his intense gaze toward her. Thanks. I completely misjudged your character. That unexpected, sincere confession totally scrambled her brain. Before she could reboot, Yohan smoothly added, You are surprisingly nothing like your garbage uncle. She foolishly expected a genuinely sweet romantic compliment, but his backhanded remark instantly shattered the romantic mood completely. Her fiery temper flared up as she furiously grumbled, letting this arrogant jerk inside was truly my dumbest mistake ever. Despite acting tough, her heart deeply regretted sheltering this gorgeous nuisance. The very next morning, our exhausted female lead awoke, groggily stretched, and released a hilariously unladylike yawn. Meanwhile, Yohan sat gracefully on the sofa, silently judging her messy routine, before coolly greeting, Good morning. Hearing a deep male voice bouncing off her walls was terrifying. She completely petrified mid-ridiculous stretch. Slowly turning her head, she spotted Yohan casually propping his chin, radiating absolute stoic perfection. Her sleep-addled brain needed solid seconds to process everything. Oh, right. He actually stayed. She recalled his dripping wet figure, resembling a tragically sad, completely abandoned little stray puppy, trapped in a freezing rainstorm. Just yesterday, this incredibly shady, uninvited, gorgeous male lead invaded my sanctuary. Introducing Kim Yohan, the wildly attractive heir to that absolutely bizarre cult known as the 1,000 Years Second Coming Church. His current status is runaway teen. The cursed thread binding our destinies together is entirely thanks to my absolute trashy uncle. That absolute scumbag conned his dangerous family out of 100 billion won. Hence, this handsome guy arrived spitting half-baked, romanticized threats whenever that monumental family disgrace crossed her mind. A heavy, soul-crushing sigh escaped. This crazy reality feels entirely fake. Regardless of his mesmerizing cult prince aura, cohabitating with a boy was strictly forbidden. She sternly interrogated, Have you finally packed your bags to leave? He flatly responded, I depart after classes end. Her eyes widened in absolute horror. After school? She glared daggers of sheer distrust, her tone squeaking upward hilariously. Are you seriously not escaping this morning? Chewing his cheap bread, the gorgeous freeloader casually mumbled back, I will return post-classes to fetch my luggage. Yoon Ae dramatically arched her brow, her entire expression screaming utter nonsense. She icily conceded, Whatever, we will follow your plan. But pointing at the pathetic half-devoured snack in his flawless hand, she suddenly gasped in pure shock. Is that garbage your actual breakfast? A cheap convenience store sandwich? Yohan deadpanned, This perfectly fuels me. She quickly whipped out heavy pans for a proper feast. Spotting his escaping figure, she aggressively nagged him. Humans strictly require nutritious feasts to survive. Are you totally clueless that raw stamina determines everything for suffering seniors? Yohan indifferently shrugged his broad shoulders, his striking face perfectly blank. I consume this daily, and my physical power remains monstrous. Glaring at his flawlessly retreating back through her entryway, she softly grumbled in sheer disbelief. That rich boy survives on cheap daily junk? Meanwhile, her pot bubbled furiously, completely ignored by distracted Yoon Ae. Her swirling thoughts felt utterly chaotic. His wealthy father literally owns towering skyscrapers. Vigorously mixing her boiling stew, she rationalized playfully. I guess even elite wealthy heirs crave cheap triangular kimbap. That quirky flaw makes him charmingly human. Upon entering her noisy classroom, Ji-hee instantly shoved shiny spectacles directly into her bewildered face. Kim Yohan! That legendary runaway must be snoozing inside some cozy mansion. Catching his famous name suddenly echoing nearby, the handsome lead sneezed. Foaming, giggled past her toothbrush. A massive storm totally struck last night, yet his uniform remained miraculously dry. Ji-hee eagerly gossiped. Apparently, our mysterious prince ditched his luggage somewhere, only dragging a single sleek backpack into class. Any gorgeous teenager boldly escaping his elite family destiny is dangerously complicated. Yoon Ae scrubbed her teeth furiously, but her friend's juicy gossip sent hilarious waves of sheer panic through her chest. Who in the world is secretly housing handsome Kim Yohan? It is definitely not your average innocent roommate situation. If it is some clueless girl from our campus, she is bound to discover those terrifying cult rumors about his family soon. Suddenly, her two nosy friends locked eyes with her, demanding, "Can you guess the secret roommate, Yoon Ae?" She shrieked. "What? Why are you asking me?" Ji-hee leaned in closer with a smirk. "Because you are his lovely classmate." "Why so jumpy today?" Song playfully shrugged. "Oh, stop teasing the poor girl." Yoon Ae was internally screaming, desperately trying to keep her cool. "Am I acting too suspiciously?" She awkwardly mumbled back. "Oh, just a wild guess. Let us see. It is definitely some devoted girl from his 1,000-year church." "Who else?" Ji-hee nodded knowingly. "That makes total sense." Yoon Ae desperately seized this golden chance to uncover the dark secrets behind Yohan and his terrifying family. She nervously questioned Ji-hee. Is his infamous 1,000-year church seriously that overpowered? Can they magically erase an entire business just because they feel like it? Like my tiny family cafe, for instance? Ji-hee bluntly replied. Actually, they have mysteriously wiped out several people before. Yoon Ae felt her jaw hit the floor. What? Seeing her ridiculously innocent expression, Ji-hee dramatically sighed and spilled the terrifying childhood tea. Some foolish bullies dared to mess with handsome Kim Yohan out of sheer jealousy. Care to guess their tragic fate? She wildly shook her head. Ji-hee whispered. Shortly after, all their parents mysteriously went completely bankrupt. I am not certain, but I bet my life his terrifying father orchestrated it. Insanely hot, right? That single horrifying detail instantly sent poor Yoon Ae into a mental breakdown. She covered her trembling mouth, thinking, "This boy is a walking nightmare." Song Ah added, "Still, his family completely ignored our bad boy running away. He must be their precious little prince, right?" Ji-hee smirked. They probably adore him unconditionally, letting him do whatever his dark heart desires. Family loyalty is terrifying. The villainous apple never falls far. Foaming with toothpaste, Yoon Ae was internally weeping. They love him enough to actually financially ruin a business? That villainous logic makes absolutely zero sense. She shuddered violently. Wait, if I had booted my handsome roommate out yesterday, would my pitifully tiny family cafe have been mercilessly crushed into dust too? Her eyes suddenly burned with a fierce, absolute determination for survival. Project Evict the Demon is officially cancelled. Meanwhile, our breathtaking lead remained blissfully oblivious to her hilarious survival crisis at home. Feeling a slight tickle, the gorgeous boy let out a raspy, attractive cough upon returning.